Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 8, I think. Wow, we're getting close to those double digits of
We're so close.
Read, Watch, Play. This is the show where we talk about comic books, superhero movies and television, and tabletop games, what we love to play.
And how they failed us.
Sometimes, yeah. So we've got a great show for you today. We're going to talk a little bit about some comics that Cliff read again, including one that I'm very interested in. Spoiler alert, Transformers. We're also going to talk about Netflix purchasing the rights to Millarworld. And no, I'm not pronouncing that incorrectly, and we'll get into that later. And we want to celebrate a new state entering the ROC States competition, Hawaii.
Yes!
So we're going to talk about the results from their ROC States competition. We've got pictures and videos and results from that as well. So, as some of you are probably expecting to see the weekly ward in this time slot, we just want to give you an update. Unfortunately, Dan and Kevin are no longer working for the company, and we wish them the best of luck in the future. So keep on the lookout. We're going to have some more Magic programming. We're hopefully going to have some Yu-Gi-Oh programming. And if you missed it, this past Saturday, we streamed our 54-player Pokemon League Cup live, and you can check out the videos on our Facebook page. On our YouTube page, and right here on Twitch. And you'll probably notice some updates to the Twitch page as well. We are now Twitch affiliates, and you're going to be able to subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate any support. It goes directly into the stream, the equipment, and everything. And we've got some special emoticons for you guys, including, I think, one emoticon from Cliff. You're going to be the hype emoticon. Hype.
I was prepared for a few more.
So, well, they only give us 3, so, but for affiliates. But once we become partners, then we'll have more. So, so Cliff, it's been a week. How have you been?
It's been good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been, I went to go see On Your Feet, Gloria Estefan and Emilio Estefan's musical on Broadway.
Oh, how was it?
It was super great. It's closing in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you know how you go into something and there was like a phase in my life around college where I loved all things Gloria Estefan. Like I bought the Meet Tierra album and I lost my mind, and then I bought all her stuff. And my friend Carolyn was like, oh, there's a special right now because it's the final month, $50 tickets. Let's do it. So we went to the city. We ate at Havana Central for dinner and met her brothers and his brother's fiance there. And then and her best friend Tanya. And from there we went to the theater. So it's at the Marquee Theater, which this place is crazy, man. Okay, it's multiple floors. It's insane. There's the theaters downstairs, and there's 100 other things happening. A hotel, and their own jewelry store. One floor was just people selling clothing, and a couple bathrooms. I couldn't figure it out. I don't even know what was there. We had to go to the 8th floor for the bathrooms. 8th floor. It was insane. But the show itself, really good. Everybody was super cool. You walk in, you give it your seats, they point you to which end of the theater you go to, someone walks you to your seat.
And this is Broadway, right?
Yeah, this is Broadway. Right, someone takes you right to your seat, which I love. And we had decent orchestra seating. Like I was sitting on the edge, and I was afraid I wasn't going to see anything. Yeah. I could see everything. It was good. The stage had moving parts, which added to like every scene. Yeah. You know, and like sometimes you're like, oh, it's Gloria Estefan, Emilio Estefan, like what's happening here? It was beautiful. Wow. I fell in love with the love story. By the way, Emilio Estefan never looked so good in his life as the guy playing him. The girl looks like Gloria. This guy is like a supermodel playing Emilio Estefan. Wow. But it's a beautiful story. A lot of flashbacks to their family leaving Cuba. All about their love. And I think there's one or two. There's at least one original song, but there's probably 2. And then the rest is all Gloria's music, like orchestrated and tweaked to reflect these moments in their life. Like the song Mi Tierra, her mom sings it when they flash back to their last night in Cuba, where they said the president is leaving tonight. You guys have to go. Like, mom, grab your daughter, grab your granddaughter. You guys are going to the boat. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna get arrested, and I'll see you when I see you. And then he came to America, and then he enlisted and went to Vietnam, and came back from Vietnam and spent the rest of his life trembling inside his body. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
It
was a great show.
It's not. I mean, that's not awesome. It's awesome that you got to see it, and it's awesome.
It's a beautiful show. It ends on a higher note.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I've been to Broadway a couple times. I saw my favorite musical of all time is. I mean, it's probably my favorite musical that I've ever seen in person that I saw on Broadway was Avenue Q. Absolutely love that show.
That one is my favorite. That made me laugh.
Yeah.
But nothing for me will ever get over the mountain of Les Miserables. Because
I've never seen that.
It's so immersive. The first time I saw it, I was 13. My grandmother had just passed away.
Yeah.
So lots of sobbing. But to see the set come apart and back together to make all of these very distinct scenes, that there's lighting in the theater when there's gunfire. I mean, you just feel so part of the show. It's amazing. And, of course, it has incredible music. But, yes, Avenue Q is
Avenue Q, and I saw Spam a lot. I like to go to the theater to have a good time.
Yes, to laugh.
And
I like to go and I like to go sing show tunes.
My wife and I went and saw Les Mis the movie in the theaters. We don't get out for date night very often, and when we do, we try to go see a movie because it's fun. Because I love going to the movies. And we went and saw the last, like, out of the last 4 times we've had date night. We saw Les Mis and was depressed afterwards.
Yeah.
Then we saw Into the Woods.
Oh.
Depressed. Because that one doesn't. And the thing I hated about the movie was that it did not have the second act Princess song that's in the actual musical.
They didn't do multiple princes and multiple wolves.
No, they had the 2 princes. Like, it was just the same as the Broadway show. But what it was is
now I gotta watch it.
They didn't have the funny song that the princes sang about all the girls that they've been with or whatever. They didn't sing the second half of it. The reprise of that in the second act. In the movie.
Probably because it's a Disney film.
No, but they sing the song in the first act, but they didn't sing the reprise in the second, which adds a little bit of levity to the second act. So it's not just one big droning, like... So I was a little upset by that. But anyway...
you poor man. You go out for date night for musicals and they're all depressing.
And they're all depressing. It's
don't see La La Land either.
I watched La La Land on the airplane.
Right, but again, you would have been depressed, right?
I wasn't... I actually didn't think it was that great.
Okay, well, let me just tell you, I was infuriated.
Welcome to Cliff and Tony review Broadway musicals, by the way.
Well, La La Land is not a Broadway musical, but I'm infuriated, and she ends the movie with a man 15 years older than her. Hell no, I'm over it. Over it. Over it.
All right, let's move on. Let's get into our first section as I fall over my chair. Let's move on to what did we read?
Did you read anything this week?
You know what? I
read till I cried this morning.
You want to know what I read? I'll show you. I'll tell you what I read. Hang
on. No.
Yeah. All right. So I read very quickly. I read this.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's cool. So we apologize for being late. We had some technical difficulties, and it looks like we're still continuing to have technical difficulties. Oh, you know what? It's not in us. You'll just have to switch to the screen. You're not going to be able to put it behind us. That's my fault. So I very quickly read Grumpy Cat Garfield.
It's from the Kaboom line by Dynamite.
Yeah, I love Garfield. I was a huge Garfield fan as a kid, and so I
you thought this was just gonna be perfect?
I was like so excited, and then I read it, and the first page, it's like this really cheesy introduction. It's definitely for kids. Like, I think this is definitely geared specifically towards kids, and I thought there was a little bit of and so they're separate at first, and then halfway through the book, there's this like secret organization that wants to kidnap both of them, and it was very interesting. I didn't even finish it, to be honest with you. It got a little. It was definitely it was a deflating boo for me. It just. I thought there was a lot of missed opportunities. I thought this was a match made in heaven, and it ended up being like, oh, here's this cat that doesn't like Mondays, and then here's this cat that doesn't like anything, that doesn't like board games specifically. Like the Grumpy Cat's like buddy,
Pokey,
I think his name is, wanted to cut.
I didn't even know there was a mythology for Grumpy Cat.
There is a Grumpy Cat mythology. I don't know. Well, I think there was a cartoon like after the Grumpy Cat meme, like it just exploded, and there was like all this other stuff. But it was a little weird, and
the Grumpy Cat mythos,
and it was just it was just a little weird, and so. So I skimmed it, and I was just like, I thought there was some missed opportunities for some clever humor. So, but yeah. So anyway, let's move on to what you read, because I'm sure it was more exciting than what I read.
It was something else.
I'm also trying to get caught up on, very desperately trying to get caught up on Sex Criminals, and I finally finished the first volume of Sex Criminals. Which is just amazing. Like, I highly recommend anybody who's 17 or older and wants to read a really great, fun adult superhero. It's so funny because it starts off as this very personal story about this girl, and then this personal story about this guy sort of coming of age, literally like going through changes and puberty and stuff, and learning about your body and everything in a very it sort of shows both sides of like what a woman goes through and what a man goes through, and just very 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 nice and sort of gentle way of doing that, and the differences between men and women, and meanwhile it cuts back to the present where they're robbing a bank using their secret powers to stop time, and I won't tell you how they stop time, but you'll have to read the book. And then it's naughty. And then the sex police show up, and it becomes this good versus evil, superhero tropes wrapped in this very very personal story. So but yeah, so I'm trying to get caught up on that. But let's talk about The Shadow. So you read number 1, The Shadow from Dynamite, which
came out in June, and I saw it yesterday, and I'm like, it's a number 1, and I grabbed it. And so it's written, if you can't read the screen, it's written by Cy Sprier, and the art is by Daniel HTR. So Daniel has previously worked on the Smallville comic, Smallville season 11 and stuff, and I love his artwork. His artwork is amazing. And Cy has...
Did he do the cover here?
That cover I don't think is his. That one's someone else's. You could see by the signature.
I see, yeah.
But the interior is him. It's amazing. It's written by Cy. Cy, I think he currently writes X-Force. I'm not 100% sure. But Cy wrote my favorite Legion story ever, the X-Men Legacy Legion story.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, so this opens with you are seeing from the eyes of this burn victim, right, who's in bed. And the woman treating his bandages, this med student who's on her way to becoming a doctor, she's like, I met him once. And she's just playing with the bandages and undoing the bandages. And she starts telling the story of how she was a young high school student who, young Latina, whose parents planned out her whole future for her, and how she was going to be a doctor and retired by 55 and everything. She goes, because, Latino parents, they're psychic. I know the feeling, girl. So she tells him this, and then, so the day she met the Shadow, her school was being held up by students who basically were committing Columbine.
Okay.
And she talked about, she's like, the worst thing you can do to those kids is laugh at them, because, that's where the real danger lies. And then and it's flashing back and forth to her and the bandages, and she's like it was incredible. And she goes, you don't know what's in the hearts of these people, what's going on. And then of course she goes, but he knows, the Shadow knows, because the Shadow makes some mentions of that while she's watching him, and she watches the Shadow shoot them and take him out. He kills one of the kids. Right, the other one, he touches him, right, and the kid just basically sees a horrific vision of a Leviathan and entropy, right, and that's what he's screaming about for the rest of his life. And she goes, the kid who was killed, Wikipedia entry and everything. The kid who was taken away, he's in a psych ward down the block. She goes, let him rot there, I hope. So anyhow, she's doing the bandages, and she's telling him, she's like, "Don't worry about your penis; it's gonna heal." Right? And she's doing the bandages, and he goes, "Why are you telling me this?" She goes, "Because I'm looking at you." She goes, "And that pee-pee there belongs to an old man." She goes, "And I'm not stupid," but she goes, "But you came in ranting and raving into the ER, either with no skin on your body, and no one could take you down." She goes, "I'm telling you all this because your secret is safe with me, because I know you're him." And she goes, "So tell me the truth." And then the last page is, "I don't know."
Wow.
Yep, and that's the last page. And she said that no one has seen the Shadow since that day he rescued her high school. And she knows that the Shadow's been around for years.
Yeah.
She talks about Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman comics that her sister read, and how like the Shadow's been around since before that. She says, the world is sick. She goes, we think it's okay for our heroes to solve all the problems by beating everybody up. Oh, sure, Superman and Wonder Woman sit back and, oh, I don't kill. But no, we let that happen. We let TV stars take over our lives. We let all these things consume us. And she goes, the world is sick. She goes, and I feel like he's the response. So that was a very interesting take on the Shadow.
So, wait a minute. This is from Dynamite.
Yep.
And they're mentioning and talking about
her sister reading comic books.
So
right.
not like they're in the
Correct.
world. It's interesting though that you mentioned that, because last week
there's the crossover.
You talked about not only is there the crossover, but you also talked about how I forget if it was that issue of Justice League or Superman where Wonder Woman sort of has that like, we sit back and let all this stuff happen, like that moment.
Was Justice League. Yes.
Yeah. And now we have another comic who's referencing almost that exact same thing
from a different perspective.
Exactly. And it's amazing that they're that's interesting. I wonder if that was a conscious decision on their part, because
I don't think so, because that came out in June and Justice League just came out last week. And
well, that's true.
True, yeah. You know what it is? It's sometimes, because writers are artists, right, in nature, you tap into what's in everybody's subconscious, whether we really like it or not.
Yeah, I mean that's great though, because it really brings those thoughts together.
Oh, absolutely,
to the forefront of your mind. So.
Such an impressive issue, really impressive artwork. Of course, I bring all the comics with me just in case. But I want to cut to a really good shot of the Shadow. So here's the Shadow emerging on the scene.
Yeah, that's some nice artwork.
And Daniel's artwork is absolutely fantastic. And I want one other good one. Well, I really like this one where he's... Okay, I don't love it because he's taking the kid out, but I just think the pages are amazing. So I was really impressed with this issue. Certainly is getting a woo for me. I would definitely I will come back to this title. Especially because I have had a good experience with the writer before and the artist.
Wow, this is great.
It is, right? Like it's like and you know what? And thank you, Steve Orlando, for telling me how much he loved the Shadow when I saw him. Because of him, I picked up the Batman Shadow crossover that he wrote, and because of him, I saw this was a #1, and I picked this up because he was on my mind. So, woo for me. Check it out. $3.99 from Dynamite.
Very cool.
Definitely give it a look.
All right, so let's move on to the one that I'm really excited about.
You are so psyched.
I'm a huge Transformers fan. In fact, my son and I were watching Transformers last night. And I used to read, Simon Furman used to write a lot of the comic book stuff way back when, and I forget the name of the company, but there was a publishing company that had the Transformers rights. This is early 2000s, and they went under. They were doing a whole war for, I don't know if it was War for Cybertron, but it was, because there's a video game War for Cybertron, but it's it was a 3-volume arc. And they had done the first 2 arcs, and then they were halfway through the 3rd when the company went bankrupt, and so he never got to finish it. But I believe IDW picked up the rights later on, like just a couple years later, and he was able to finish the run in the story. Or he didn't finish it, but what he did was he wrote a one-shot that cleaned it all up, and then he was able to continue on. Sort of rebooting the comic book universe of Transformers, starting on Earth, and all of the stuff he had written at the previous company was all the mythology and the lore that led into it.
Oh, nice.
And so it was some really great. It was some. I loved everything he did. And then actually, when he got taken off the main series, and like they sort of soft rebooted it, is when I stopped reading it. But that whole series was really great. There was one issue.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be really upset with yourself when I start telling you about this book.
Oh my gosh! So I wanted to jump in. I have like the Revolutionaries one shot that they did where they bring all the properties together. But so tell me something about this. Tell me how excited I'm going to be about this.
Oh, you're going to lose your mind. Everyone who's ever grew up loving this stuff, you're going to lose it. Okay, so this first issue is the focus is G.I. Joe and Transformers.
So for those of you who don't know, IDW. This was last year, I think, a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
They announced that they were bringing their 4 main properties
together:
Transformers, G.I. Joe, ROM, and
Micronauts,
and
Micronauts
Mask. And Mask. So that's 5.
Yeah.
So 5 properties that they had, most under the Hasbro banner, I believe.
They're calling this a Hasbro comic book event, so
yes,
Hasbro must have the lock on these.
So they decided to bring all of them together in the same universe. Everything was still in continuity. They didn't reboot anything.
Great,
but they brought
everything together. Yes.
And who didn't play with their Transformers and G.I. Joes when they were a kid? Like, I mean, I didn't really have G.I. Joes, but I played with Transformers constantly. So this is so exciting.
My superpowers.
I'm assuming you've got the Autobots and the Joes.
Oh, listen,
the
you don't even know.
All right, tell me
how outrageous. All right,
tell me.
Okay, so let me just tell you about it. Okay, so first of all, it's written by my precious David Rodriguez, who I adore, who is the story writer for the Skylanders video games.
Which, by the way, is where I fell in love with him, because the Skylanders games are so well written, so entertaining, and oh gosh, I forget his name, but Adam, who's the guy, Putty from Seinfeld? Patrick Warburton.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Warburton does the voice of Flynn in Skylanders and just brings David's writing, just his humorous writing to life. It's absolutely hysterical.
It is great. Margaret Scott also is the co-writer on this. I'm not familiar with him. I'm sorry. And the art is Max Dunbar. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening in this issue. The Earth has been annexed into the Transformers Empire.
These are his notes on this. These are his notes. Go for it.
The Earth has been annexed into the Transformers Empire by Optimus Prime.
What?
Oh, wait.
What?
Yes.
Wait,
yes.
like by force?
You know, because it's the right thing to do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
wait. Should I tell you the narrative of the book before you even start the story? The narrative of the book is Earth is annexed into the Transformers Empire, and it goes on about how powerful the Transformers are, and then it ends with, and how do you kill them all?
How do you destroy all the Transformers?
What? Right? So there's Marissa Fairborn. She is now the Earth Ambassador, elected to the role for the Cybertronian Council. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. The elected leader of the Transformers, Starscream.
Wait a minute.
Starscream is their representative on this inter-space council. He is the current ruler of Cybertron.
Is Starscream not a bad guy?
Apparently, this all took place in a previous Transformers event.
Okay.
Right? So, guess who's watching this all on TV? The Joes, the other Joes, and they're sitting there with, who are they hanging out with? Oh man, I wrote so many things. They're with Skywarp. Skywarp is hanging out with Scarlet and her team. Flint and Talent are leading the ground team and security for the situation, and the Transformer head of security is Ironside.
Ironhide.
Is it?
Ironhide.
Okay, it's Ironhide. Sorry, guys. So Ironhide is
Trust me, I know my Transformers.
There he is, Ironhide. Ironhide is the security guy on the ground for them. Also on the ground, who's doing all the reporting like a typical 21st century reporter, is G.I. Joe member #. That's right. G.I. Joe has a member for everything, and so do the Transformers.
The social media.
So hashtag is there, and she goes, look at what's going on. And what do you think she's wearing? And then someone straight up tells her, get back on the crowd. No one gives a damn what that girl is wearing. And then Longtooth is the video camera Transformer. He's in Transformer mode, but videotaping the whole thing. And when she asked about what this woman is wearing, he goes, this is fascinating. And did you kill the animal yourself to produce this outfit? What? And hashtag jumps in is like, there's a loss in translation here. No. So they're under attack, right? You would think by Cobra. Oh, no. It is so much more interesting than that. This giant mechanoid thing opens up with all these red soldiers freaking flying out, going everywhere. And their leader, Baron Underblood. Do any of you know who he is? Because if you don't, I'm going to blow it up. All right? Baron Underblood Baron Underblood in G.I. Joe Revelations was revealed to be Joe Colton, the original Joe. Scarlet's hero, and he is leading the revolution against the Transformers. Okay, it gets better. All right, so then he's Baron Underblood. Flint is there for security. All right, then Scarlet wants to figure this all out. She goes, no, why would he do that? He's like my mentor. He's like my hero. Like, he's the greatest man I've ever known. There has to be an answer. So she leads her team to the Swiss Alps on a mission to go and dig up his dirt and figure out what's going on. I'm cutting a lot, guys. This is a very good book for $3.99.
I'm picking this up. You've already sold it.
So Scarlet discovers an item in the floor when they break into the Swiss Alps, and guess what? It's keyed to her. So as soon as she picks it up, it's like, oh, this is for you, because it turns on right away. Right? And it's because Joe, okay, Baron Underblood, right? He says, Scarlet, I know what's happening, and I know you'll be the one who has to hunt me. So I just want you to know that it's all right. And so it's really him. So in case we're doubting that it's really the original Joe.
It's really him.
It's really him. And he's telling her, you know, because
she's come after him.
Yeah, it's okay that she's coming after him. But he goes, I want you to know why I'm doing this. Because I believe if we get involved with this BS with Cybertron, it will be the end of all of us. He goes, how many ants have you stepped on today and you didn't even notice? He goes, imagine all these giant freaks all over us.
Wow.
Right? He's like, so they're going to be the death of all of us. And then there's a backup story.
A B story.
A B story. The Origins of Evil, starring Baron Ironblood, Dr. H, and Storm Shadow. So Dr. H in Joe apparently kept any of the Transformers coming to the UK. She kept them out of England, right? So when Joe gets there, he's like, well, England still looks like England, and back home for me, everything looks like a freaking movie set, you know? Because it's crazy because they set up all those Cybertronian spires and everything. And he's like, so I want you guys to work with me, and I have a secret weapon, and his secret weapon is something called the Talisman, and he said, I will make your soldiers, and he goes, I will make you, Storm Shadow, more powerful than ever before, and this is the weapon we have to help us take down Transformers. And issue 2 comes out this month, so there's only more. Wow. And this only featured the Joes and the Transformers. There's still 3 other properties that we haven't even touched yet.
Mask, Micronauts, and Rom.
I mean, like, oh my God. I'm just picturing Rom the freaking former Space Knight, because that didn't happen. Right? Just figure it, just boom. Wow. Oh my God. Woo.
So, I mean, was it a woo or a boo?
It's a soft
It's a soft woo, really? Okay.
I mean, I didn't even love these things growing up. Like, I was just like, you know, it's cool. Like, occasionally, like, I watched the Transformers movie. Yeah. I watched the G.I. Joe movie. The G.I. Joe movie is really good, by the way. And it was direct-to-video. I can't even believe it.
Which G.I. Joe movie?
The animated movie.
Oh, the animated one? Yeah, I have a story about that.
There's the best opening sequence in an anime for the 80s. Holy cow. Yeah. But anyhow, if you love these properties, don't even second guess. Run. Say, take my money and pick this up.
Wow. Wow.
Pick it up.
I'm gonna have to pick it up. I'm definitely gonna read. I'll probably just borrow your copy, actually.
Oh my god! You're gonna buy your own. Support this book and support Dave Rodriguez's
sir.
writing. Damn right, absolutely.
All right. Well, I don't know if we can top that, but we're gonna try
with Axel number 3.
Excel number 3.
Yes. So I'm really sorry that I kind of skipped over issue number 2, and now we're jumping to 3.
And this is from newly formed Catalyst Prime.
Catalyst Prime. Lion Forge Comics. It's a big thing, and I love it. And so anyhow, this one's written by Joe Casey, and Damian Scott is the artist. And so last issue, he went to South America to try and get some answers. He meets this guy Jesse, and Jesse's like, you with the speed power, you've unlocked a lot of terrible things. So in this issue, Jesse, the old man, has nicknamed this creature Dag, and the real name is Daggerword or whatever. I can't remember the name, right?
Oh, wow.
So the issue is called Dag, and he fights them, and they're in this Speed Force zone or whatever the hell that they're in. I don't know. They're in this darkness, and he has to fight. He has to fight this creature. And Jesse told him before he got sucked into this void, the creature's going to come after you, but if you can pull 3 hairs from its head, you can work miracles. So he pulls 3 hairs from the creature's head while they're fighting at super speed, right? And he uses the 3 hairs to pull them out of that negative zone back to where they are. He sees Jesse, and then he keeps using the 3 hairs, and it creates this freaking, cosmic, typhoon that sucks this demon speedster creature away. Incredible. So Jesse is talking to him, trying to share some insight. Jesse starts having a heart attack. So he starts running at super speed to the nearest city he can find because he doesn't even know where he is because he just ended up in this desert, right? So he super speeds to a city. He gets to a hospital, and Jesse's like, I shouldn't be here. I can feel the light calling me. It's okay, right? And so he dies right there on the floor. And Axel's like, oh my God, I don't feel like I lost someone. I feel like I was there for somebody to transcend their journey, right? So he had this he had this very peaceful spiritual moment. So Axel gets back with his friends, and he's chatting with them, trying to get back to his normal life, but it's weighing on him because, Jesse said some very simple words to him, we're always part of something much bigger than what we see, right? And those words are weighing on him. He's like, what was he trying to tell me? I really don't get it. And the whole time that he's thinking this, he is being watched by some shady dude in a van, from very far away with a whole bunch of, robotics, cameras, all that stuff. And so that's where we left in this issue. And of course the fact that so far Jesse hasn't directly encountered any other super beings, but he did hear about them at the end of issue 1. So, it's interesting. Unlike the Flash, who needs to eat for the recharge, he just needs to rest to get the speed recharge. So if somebody knocks him out, whatever, if he's just lays there for a few minutes, it kind of gets a little kickback.
So do we know if there's any other superheroes in this
absolutely, because they're all happening in the other books.
The other books. Okay, that's what I thought.
So, there's some crossovers bound to happen. But yeah, so far so good. I want the other titles. I haven't found a complete set. The only one I have a complete set of titles is for Excel.
Wow.
So I'm very good. I'm still giving it a woo. Even though you know how I feel about my $3.99 price points, that's a cutoff for me. When you take me to $5, then I get vicious.
Unless it's a lot of pages.
And speaking of $5, the viciousness is coming.
All right, are we ready?
Are we ready? Welcome to me reviewing Marvel stuff because
we got Marvel this week, baby.
You demanded it. You.
That's right. Now this is Secret Empire number 8.
I resent that y'all made me pick up this garbage.
Now, hang on. Now, did you read
7?
No. Did you read Captain America number 25 before this?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
because I opened up Captain America number 25 and it says read this before you read Secret Empire number 8.
I know. Did you see anything in there that set you off that was fiery?
I mean, they said there's a reveal at the end, and spoiler alert, it's Bucky.
Yeah, big whoop. He shows up in this issue,
yeah.
I'm gonna help. Ugh. Anyhow, Listen, there's a massive crossover with massive freak. No.
No. All right.
Let me tell you. No. Wait.
Oh.
Let me tell you about issue number 7. Issue number 7, Cap murders Black Widow. This is issue number 8 we're on. Issue number 7, Cap murders Black Widow. There's a prophecy about Miles Morales' Spider-Man murdering Captain America. And Miles snaps when he sees Natasha murdered, because now it's just like, this Cap is no one's hero. This is ridiculous. And he's just wailing on Captain America, right? And he's like, this is what you want, isn't it? And then he's there and he's in the moment and he feels it and he's like, this is the moment where I'm supposed to kill you. And that's the prophecy. But I'm not going to do it because that's not who I am. That's not who Spider-Man is.
Wow.
Right? So they all get locked up and raced away, and Sharon Carter gets locked up too, right? Natasha, of course, is dead. And then there's this red hot room, quote unquote, which isn't red hot. It's just this place where Red Skull and Cap are trapped in this netherworld, right? And there's this angelic vision of Sharon there. And it's like, this seems like a good cliffhanger, a big reveal. Again, I'm shortening it for all of you. So I figured this issue, some stuff is going to happen. But this is only issue 8. Issue 10 is the cliffhanger. And I'm nauseous. This whole book was just sitting around dragging the damn story out. Bucky has a plan. I guess we'll see it in issue 10. Because Bucky had a plan in Captain America. Bucky had a plan in the Namor issue that I also glanced at before I decided to put it back. Because I'm tired of it. Bucky has a plan. That's how it's going to go, everybody. Bucky has a plan. All right, so Bucky, let me tell you this. Your plan should be for Marvel to stop this crap, okay? Give us something.
Well, you're in luck, because eventually they are going to stop
it,
and we're going to Marvel Legacy.
I cannot wait. I hope it's good. This is just, this is just drawn out. I did not like this from the beginning. I still don't like it. I'm sure some of you are finding something to enjoy, but I can't care. I can't care when I know the end result is a reboot. It's just too hard for me. I can't care when they defiled Captain America, in my opinion, and I know everybody's like, and look, when a story's done really well, I get it. And there are moments of the story that are excellent, but no, like, I'm not here for this. I'm not here for this, okay? And Sam Wilson, Captain America, fabulous, but we all know he's gonna be freaking Falcon in 2 months, in 3 months anyway. So I don't know how the rest of y'all feel. I can't. You know, like, Nick Spencer is a very good artist. I love Rod Hayes. I love his work, and you know. That's it. Nick Spencer's a good writer, and Rod Hayes, good art. I mean, there's some good artwork here.
So you're saying if anybody, if you plan on picking up Secret Empire 7 or 8 or Captain America, make sure you get some Dramamine as well.
I'm just saying, it's not for me. I'm giving it a soft boo because I'm over it. And I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying like I never want to see another crossover again. I'm just saying like this is, I don't know, this is just too much. I want to say I'm enjoying the ride. I didn't enjoy Civil War 2 either. I spent Civil War 2 hating both Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, and Iron Man. And I'm like, I just don't want to read events where I'm just mad at everybody, and I'm just mad at how stupid they all are. I'm just mad. You know? And I'm sorry, it's issue 8 out of 10. Tell me what the plan is, Bucky. Tell me your plan. So,
he's got a plan.
Don't worry, there's some Marvel stuff I read that I liked.
So a soft boo, and let me ask you this.
If you're already into it, it's fine. But if you're not already into it, this is no jumping on point. This is a run the hell away point. And just pick up something else that I'm going to recommend.
So that being said, what little information we do have of Marvel Legacy and the big book that they've announced, you know, that's going to launch it is Avengers 1 Million BC.
What is that? What is that? The first
for those of you who don't know, it's a Phoenix,
Stone Age, Black Panther, the first Sorcerer Supreme,
Agamotto. It's Agamotto.
Oh, it's Agamotto. Oh, it's great. Agamotto. Oh, it's amazing. And they all look so civilized too.
It's Ghost Rider riding a flaming woolly mammoth.
Okay, I'm gonna give you.
And Odin. Odin is Thor.
Yeah, he's cool. But I'm gonna give you.
He's cool.
I'm gonna give you
Iron Fist.
I'm gonna give you.
And
I'm gonna
the first
give you,
wielder of the Star Brand that's a giant Hulk.
I'm gonna give you that. Which, by the way, they're just sucking the life out of New Universe and to do stuff with it. But I'm gonna give you that Ghost Rider riding the flaming mammoth is really awesome.
Yes, it
Like
is.
that one's just. I love that
like,
one.
And Thor, like Odin in an Avengers team, like that's insane.
I know, but are they even really the Avengers?
We'll find out.
Anyhow, I just feel like it just makes me feel like time is still tainted. You guys can't stop ruining things. Have you learned nothing from watching The Flash?
Can't stop ruining things. that should be Marvel's. That should be Marvel Comics like tagline.
The House of Ideas.
Read Marvel Comics. We can't stop ruining things. Sounds good. All right, so soft boo on Secret Empire.
From
number
me,
8.
I know I'm harsh, but look.
What do we have to say about Generations?
The strongest.
Hulks? The strongest.
Right. And this one features Banner Hulk and Totally Awesome Hulk.
Which is Amadeus Cho.
Which is
like super intelligent Hulk, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Only talk about an issue that does not leave you feeling good. Okay, so I don't know what triggers the moment of time being broken that causes these events to happen. I believe this is the first one of the events. So Amadeus Cho is just walking in the desert, and he starts feeling, artillery fire at his back. And he is in the moment in time where the military was first chasing after Hulk.
Okay.
And then, of course, the military sees 2 Hulks and goes extra ballistic going after them. Okay, so they get away from each other, and Amadeus Cho doesn't want to tell Bruce too much. He just tells him, like, Bruce, control your heart rate. You could do great things. You could be a hero. I came from the future. There's so much that changes. Blah blah blah.
So Totally Awesome Hulk has come back to the past.
Yes, he's thrown. All the current generation people are thrown into the past for whatever reason, whatever triggered that. I'm assuming it has to do with the Cosmic Cube. That's the only cosmic thing going on in this whole ginormous story arc.
Maybe that's Bucky's plan.
I'm sure it just makes sense. The whole thing is started by the damn Cosmic Cube. We're going to use the Cosmic Cube. Just use the Cosmic Cube. I would have been in space already trying to find somebody cosmic.
So, all right. So, Totally Awesome Hulk is with Banner. He's getting him to control his heart rate. Does he get him to calm down? He does
get him to calm down. And they have a really great talk where he almost convinces Bruce that, like, he has everything under control.
Now, is Bruce Bruce or is Bruce Hulk?
Bruce is Bruce.
Bruce is Bruce.
This is the old days. So then...
No, but they're both Hulk.
They both go into normal mode.
Right,
okay. And Amadeus has this little watchy thing that he uses to control the whole effect for himself.
Yeah.
So of course they're trying to get away from the area in normal mode, try to get into a small town. When one of those like old school giant size monsters of the deep starts attacking. So he's like, Bruce, keep your heart rate down. Go get like the civilians out of here, and I'm gonna handle this, right? I am super smart. I can take care of it. So he turns his little dial, turns into the Hulk, leaps up to start driving the creature back, right? The military comes. The military is just lighting it up on the creature. Like this thing has to die. It is a giant menace, and Amadeus Cho Hulk, like classic Hulk would wants to save everyone. Mm-hmm. Stop firing. This is wrong. Creature, stop attacking back. All of you stop. He attacks, then Amadeus attacks the military, attacks the creature because he wants them to stop. And so Banner Hulk jumps in and stops Amadeus. And then he lectures him. You gave me false hope. You told me things could get better. He goes, but I see what I see in me. You don't have control of the beast. Sometimes you let the beast take the wheel, and that's a bad thing. He goes, you are the solution or the answer to anything.
Wow.
And of course, Amadeus is brokenhearted, and then the situation comes down, but, brokenhearted for everybody. Mm-hmm. And Amadeus is brokenhearted on multiple levels. And he goes, and what am I supposed to tell Bruce? That one day I actually succeeded in curing him, and then after I cured him, he got himself killed? And he's like, I can't tell Bruce anything. you know? So, and then that's it, and he's just depressed, and then it jumps ahead. So all these issues end with what we are to look forward to in the future, right? So this issue ends by telling us
after the Legacy reboot.
Yeah, telling us to follow this story up in September with Incredible Hulk 709, Return to Planet Hulk. So with, of course, Amadeus Cho. So we'll see.
Marvel's greatest hits.
We're going to see what goes on there. So, I don't think it should be a big surprise. I liked this.
Good.
I thought it was good. I give it, it's another $4.99 book, but it's robust.
Good.
But all the Generation books are $4.99. So just. Do
they have the pages to make it worth it?
They've got a decent amount of pages. Okay. It's a good amount of story.
Good.
It's a good amount of story. You will probably pick and choose.
Okay.
I didn't because I wanted to do it for you, so all of you can enjoy something.
So where are we on the woo-boo scale?
It's a good woo.
Good woo?
It's good woo. It's a solid woo.
All right.
Not first strike woo.
Not first strike woo.
Right, but certainly not no Secret Empire.
Gotcha.
Soft boo.
So also with the Generation series.
Yeah, which came up this week. Hulk was last week.
Phoenix.
Yeah, Jean Grey, the Phoenix. Actually, Generations is the Phoenix, featuring Jean Grey and Phoenix. Jean Grey being the young one. So, time-lost Jean Grey is using her mental powers to cloak herself from everybody around her. She's on a beach. She's not sure what to do. She goes, whatever threw me here must have just, thrown me here because it wanted me to go on vacation because she's on a beach. So she starts walking around and exploring, and she finds Jean Grey just lying there. And she's like, oh my God, it's like we're twins. She goes, oh wait, this is so much worse. This is Phoenix, right? It's not Jean Grey, it's Phoenix embodied as Jean Grey, right? Because if you know this whole story of Phoenix, right?
I know it a little bit.
Okay, so the X-Men are on this huge outer space adventure. Phoenix is using her TK to protect everybody, and
she ends up they think she's killed.
Right. The Phoenix Force ends up coming, and what ultimately happens is makes a deal with her. Yeah. I'm going to heal you. It's going to be okay. I'm going to take over. It's fine. Yeah. So what really happens is it puts her in this cocoon, which ends up at the bottom of Jamaica Queens Bay where the X-Men all crash. Okay. They don't know that the real Jean is healing from the radiation damage inside the cocoon that Phoenix prepared for her. And up comes Jean Grey Phoenix. And they all think, oh my God, Jean is possessed by this super powerful God Force thing. And holy cow, this is crazy. And so the story continues. So young Jean sees Phoenix Jean and is terrified. She's like, this thing, the Phoenix Force is chasing after me because of your actions. This is horrifying. Why am I here? Oh God, she can sense I'm here. So she tells her to reveal herself. So she reveals herself. And they chit-chat. And she goes, but you're younger than me. I don't understand. She goes, it gets more confusing. I'm younger than you and I'm from your future. Right? Because it's time removed, young Jean Grey, brought to the present for all new X-Men, who then gets time slapped to the era of Phoenix Chain. Yeah. Everybody absorb that.
Oh. My head hurts just thinking about it.
So she keeps asking her about Phoenix, Tell me about Phoenix. Tell me about the power. Tell me about the control. Tell me about all of it. And she's like, you got a lot of questions. Let's go out dancing. So they go to this dance club. and Phoenix Jean uses her.
That's where I want to go when I want to listen to somebody's answers. Let's go
because she doesn't really want to talk about it,
Oh, right, because she's the one that. Okay,
right. Because
when I don't want to answer somebody's questions, I want to go dancing.
Yeah, and so she uses her super TK and transforms her clothes so they can go to the club, where young Jean can sense that Mastermind is watching them and trying to slowly use his influence on them. So young Jean is like, oh, this sucks because I know what's going to happen. Eventually, he gets his mitts inside Jean's head, makes her all crazy. She attacks the X-Men, and then Dark Phoenix is born. She's like, why? So all this time, she's dying to say something to Jean. So Jean takes her on an adventure, full-on Phoenix Force form. They go into space. Jean can sense some planet.
Just like the Never-Ending Story?
Yes.
Flying on Falcor?
Yeah, except it's just a big giant flame together where they're flying through it. So anyhow, they head out deep into space. They encounter Terrax and Galactus. And Terex is like, I'm the biggest, baddest Herald of Galactus there's ever been. Galactus needs his work done here, rah, rah, rah. And Jean's like, oh, I'm sorry. You see, innocent people are involved, and I am the Phoenix. I am life incarnate. And smacks Terex all around like he is Play-Doh. So Terex is like, I'm so sorry, Phoenix. I didn't know. I didn't understand. You know, but this planet is already claimed by Galactus. She goes, this planet is claimed by me, the Phoenix, for protection. In the meantime, I'm like freaking out because I keep thinking to myself, is this the planet that she ends up eating when she's Dark Phoenix? You know? Like, that's all that's going on in my back because I'm like, how messed up is this story right now? You know, written by Callan Bum. Yep, Bunn, B-U-N-N. Also, Greg Pak wrote the Hulk one, by the way. And who is his artist? Matteo Buvani.
I've read some stuff from Greg.
Yeah, and
he's done some DC stuff in the past.
Yes, yeah. And this one is excellent artwork. R.B. Silva is doing this one. So they're in space with Galactus and everything, and so young Jean is like, we gotta take out this Galactus threat. So she uses her power and she pulls all the telekinetic energy that she can from the planet to punch Galactus in the face and knock him down. Which earns a reprieve from Galactus, in which he says, we're going to leave now, but do know if we ever see you again, we're going to destroy you on sight.
Wow. Oh, yeah, there it is. Wow.
So older past Jean is like, oh, please, he didn't know what to do with two Phoenixes. So she goes to this whole thing, and she goes, what do you want to tell me? This is older Jean to young Jean. Mm-hmm. What is it you want to tell me about the future? And she's like, and then the freaking Watcher Uatu shows up, and is like, listen, I appear when there's moments of great consequence. Think about what you're doing. So she decides to say to Phoenix, I can't tell you what it is. Right? And again, Uatu, every time Uatu speaks, like, time stops around them. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, it's time for you to get out of here. Right? And so Phoenix Jean is like, no, wait, I have questions. And young Jean doesn't even get to say goodbye. She just dematerializes from there. And of course, to be continued in Psych Wars, Jean Grey #8 in October. Wow. So I imagine when all this Secret War craziness is over, mm-hmm. Which, by the way, I will give Secret Empire, one compliment to Marvel. Thanks for at least keeping it on time, because that's one thing they've had a lot of trouble with in the past. So, yeah, this was a solid read. Again, a very powerful learning experience between the two characters. And
woo, boo.
It's a woo. I enjoyed the Generations ones were good, and they were easy to follow. Even though I have not been reading comics, nonstop. These are good issues to reintroduce the characters, even if the circumstance is a little confusing because you don't know why they're randomly there.
All right, so you've covered a lot of Marvel stuff.
I know, and this cut into my DC reading this week, so I had to choose one DC. One. And so it better be worth it for you.
Was
Mr.
Miracle.
Because we know it's Jack Kirby's anniversary this month.
It is.
So much Jack Kirby. Newsboy Legion is out this month. Jack Kirby Groot is out this month. Jack Kirby Thor tribute comic is out this month. All these crazy Kirby tribute comics are out there from Marvel and DC. Go get them because they're wonderful if you love him, and go have it. But now, Mr. Miracle is a brand new 12-issue series written by Tom King, who some of you may love from his Batman writings, okay, with art by Mitch Gerads, okay. So, it starts with, he's, in the bathroom acting all weird, and then you cut to a big panel, Mr. Miracle scot-free. You cut to a big panel where it looks like maybe he slit his wrist. And then he
oh my gosh.
And then he starts just dialing back through his mind, what it must be like to be a kid in school, which has a really creepy theme throughout the book, right?
This artwork is fantastic.
The artwork is fantastic.
We show off a little of that artwork. That is.
Yeah. By the way, do you notice the black panels, everybody?
Oh yeah.
Darkseid is crazy. So. he's trying to like.
Is that Barda crying?
That's Barda. Yeah, that's
Crying
his wife. Yeah.
That is creepy.
So Barda is like beside herself, obviously, but he seems to be in shock. Okay. So he's out of the hospital, and he's trying to rest, and he's like laying on the couch, or like, sitting up on the couch. Barda's lying on the couch. Orion shows up. All right, and Orion shows up with some old school apocalypse nonsense, where he's like, get up, scot-free, and he's like, stand, and he's like, I'm standing, and he just punches him in the face. Stand again, I'm standing. Punches him in the face. So Barda wakes up, interjects, is like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm teaching him. She goes, oh, I'm not from New Genesis. We didn't sleep on soft pillows. She goes, we are from Apocalypse. We were taught by the one who could teach, Granny. So I'm like, damn, so this is already getting harsh, right? And then like he kind of slips into this delusion where he's like on a talk show with Glorious Godfrey, which here they call him Jeffrey Godfrey. I don't know why, right? And he makes a comment about, well, I'm the greatest escape artist ever. I can seem to escape everything. I was wondering if I could escape death, so I tried to kill myself. And the audience just laughs. And all the time that all this is going on in his head, every few panels, dark side is. And then every panel that you go through the pages, more dark side is. So he sees Oberon. We all know Oberon from Justice League International. And he's talking to him about, healing and being an escape artist. And Barda's like, he's been dead for over a month. The cancer got him. You had to make the decision to pull the plug. Why don't you remember any of this? Then he's looking at Barda on the couch. And he's like, your eyes, they used to be the most beautiful blue. Why are they brown? And she's like, Scott, my eyes have always been brown. Highfather comes to visit him, and he's like, I want to be here with you. I want to spend time with you. I can't. He goes, we're in chaos, which I think has something to do with what happens to Green Lantern this month, only I didn't get a chance to read it. So anyhow, so Highfather tells him, Darkseid has the anti-life equation, and this is it, and we have to fight him because the anti-life equation, he can warp reality, he can warp men's minds. Darkseid is. And a whole panel of it. So it just gets darker and darker and darker. And they get the message from Orion, you must come to New Genesis. You must help battle the forces of Darkseid. And they're all geared up. And he tells Barda, just as they're about to leave and the boom tube is open, he's like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I just don't know if I have it in me anymore. And what does she do? She slaps him to the floor. And she goes, stand. And he stands up, he's like, standing. She goes, are you ready? And he goes, okay. And she takes his freaking hand, and she's like, we're going to do this. And they go through the boom tube.
This is insane.
It is insane. If I had anyhow, huge woo, crazy book.
It looks great. I may pick that up because the artwork is fantastic. I love that kind of artwork,
too. If I had to say the absolute must-haves of this week, in my opinion, First Strike and Mr. Miracle. They were the two. I will call them the must-haves of the week.
All right. So that's going to wrap it up for our What Did We Read segment.
I made it through all my pages of notes.
A lot of great stuff. I'm kind of excited. I think I'm going to pick up some of that stuff and read it. So let's move on to What Did We Watch. We've got one big news story for that, and that is Netflix. Netflix purchases Millarworld, which, by the way, a lot of people pronounce it Millarworld.
Because it's A-R?
Because M-I-L-L-A-R.
But apparently he has said in several interviews it's just Miller. I don't know what's wrong with everybody.
And just a rundown, if you're not familiar with Mark Millar's work, you probably have seen Kick-Ass.
Yep, and The Kingsman.
Kingsman Secret Service, and also Wanted. That movie does not always make the list when you're talking about Mark Millar's stuff. Whoa, beep, beep. Let's back the truck up here because I enjoy the movie Wanted. It may not be as faithful to the comic as the other properties.
I hate the movie Wanted.
Wow. Yep. Okay.
I am dying for Netflix to give Wanted the treatment.
I mean, I hope they do because it deserves more storytelling in that universe.
Yes, it does, and it's part of the package. It's part of the package. Kick-Ass and Kingsman are not part of this package, but Wanted is. I want to see it. I want to see it all. Give me the Wanted that we deserve, not that. What was in that movie?
Wanted? It was Angelina Jolie and James McAvoy. And,
James McAvoy, I love.
It also had Morgan Freeman.
Of course, love him too.
It had, I think, Common was in it.
Oh my god!
And Chris Pratt plays his best friend that his girlfriend is sleeping.
Right, he hits him with the keyboard.
Yep,
love that.
Keyboard, so
listen, there's so few things that I enjoy about the movie. I always enjoy James McAvoy though.
Yeah. So here's a quick list of the properties it does include. So
many good things.
Reborn. Empress, Huck,
Jupiter's Circle,
Chrononauts, Jupiter's Legacy, MPH, not Kingsman, Starlight, Superior, Super Crux, Nemesis, which is a hugely popular book, which is basically what if the ultimate superhero in the world was a bad guy?
No, that's not Nemesis.
It is.
No, it's not. Nemesis is like you pay to be the world's greatest supervillain. Whoa. And so, like, the first story of Nemesis is, like, this whole dude executing revenge and everything with this big, huge story.
But that's how they set up the first one.
That's what, well, right. And then at the end, like, he's done, and then someone else gets to be Nemesis. Wow. No, the one, you're thinking of another title that's not included in this package with the world's greatest supervillain.
Wanted and American Jesus. So,
American Jesus is super controversial.
Yeah,
if Netflix goes there, it's like,
you know what's funny is the description in here actually talks about it becoming a movie, but I don't ever remember it becoming a movie. I wonder if they just.
I don't think it ever became a movie.
So this is really exciting.
I'm excited. First of all, Jupiter's Legacy and Jupiter's Circle are freaking awesome. I can see both of them being crazy superhero Netflix series. That would be great.
The interesting thing is that. Netflix, prior to this announcement, Netflix showed that they had gained 5 million subscribers in Q2 of this year. Mm-hmm. And 4 million of those subscribers were international. And they said that Captain America Civil War was a huge influence on those numbers. Apparently, it's insanely popular on Netflix.
Which is rough because Disney announced they're pulling out with
right.
Netflix. When the deal is over, the deal is over.
And that's 2019, I believe?
Yeah, which is around the corner, really.
And so this, and what's interesting is I wonder if Disney, like, because they had just signed an exclusivity agreement with them.
Right, not too long ago.
With Netflix, like less than a year ago. And now they're, which is fine. I mean, that's, because there was a lot of rumors about Disney purchasing Netflix. There was a lot of evaluations going on with Netflix and things. So I wonder, I think they were all true. I think Disney did think about purchasing Netflix, and then they ultimately decided to go their own route, which is fine. I would assume Disney would do that.
And Warner Brothers has.
Yeah, I'm not excited about all of these. I think we're going to get to a point where
it's going to be oversaturated. I'm not happy.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that I think is going to save it is if the price point stays around $5.99 or less a month.
No, it has to, because you know what? I don't know if I want to spend another $10 a month. I mean, I will because I love it. But I don't know if I really want to spend that extra $10 a month just to see okay, I do. For Young Justice and Titans, I do. I will spend that money to watch those shows. I will. They better not pull that crap where it comes out once a week or something like that, like Hulu does. They better just give me the episodes like Netflix does. So I'm looking forward to that. But I don't know if I want to pay for all this other stuff.
It's going to be an interesting thing to see how it develops. So I wonder if Disney gave Netflix the heads up, and so Netflix said, "All right, well, if that's the case, then we better get our own. We better get our own superhero."
The announcement of Disney pulling out and Millarworld being purchased are back-to-back announcements. I'm sure they knew. Because Netflix was probably like, "So what great things are we going to do with the Defenders and everything?" And Disney's like, "Well, when we transition them to our property, we have plans for them." our Parks and Rec is not good enough for you anymore. Oh, I see how that is. Oh, you're the original theme park master, so you want your own playground. Okay. Find out what available theme parks are out there. We're gonna own this.
So what's interesting is that Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Daredevil season 2, very popular, and I think that Mark Millar's style very similar to that sort of like R-rated graphic violence type of stuff. I think will do well on Netflix.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm sure of it. I'm really interested. So I wonder what these projects are. They can't all be series. You know?
No, and they specifically said films and series.
Right, but it's funny because something like Jupiter's Legacy and Circle have a lot of special effects, or should, right? But I expect them to be series because there's so much. It's one universe, of course, to itself, and there's so much story there. I would expect nothing less than a series coming out of that, and a lot of great characters to play with. Versus what is it, Superior? Like Superior, I see as like a film. Because we really just have the one story. They can still play with the character, but I see that more as a feature, in my opinion. Same thing with Wanted. Although Wanted, I can actually see as a series.
I would love a Wanted series. I hope that they take the successful elements from the movie, because I very much enjoyed the movie. I actually love the movie.
I'm not going to say the movie doesn't have moments that I enjoyed, but you know what it is? To me, it felt like every other movie we had at that time. It just felt been there, done that, and this could have been a superhero genre movie, and we still lived in an era where people were like, oh no, I'm too afraid to take that risk.
You know what's interesting is every once in a while and this happened a lot when I was younger, and the internet wasn't such a prevalent thing, and geekdom hadn't come into its own, but there would be, every once in a while, I would stumble upon a movie that I knew nothing about, and I would watch it, and I would be blown away. I'm like, this is the most amazing thing ever. And I'll tell you, Wanted was a perfect example of that. And Michael Bay's The Island was another example of that. I knew nothing about the movie, and I watched it, and I was like, this is insanely great. I love it. So,
probably part of my issue with Wanted is because I knew about it. I was tracking it. Yeah. I had expectations for it. Yeah. And then it was there. Also, I've never really liked Angelina Jolie. The only thing I ever liked her in was Maleficent. I was like, you were born for this role.
Which is often panned as not a great Disney live action movie. So,
are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's universally critically accepted as the worst Disney live action movie of the new because it kicked off this new live action Disney.
If we remove all that from the equation, I think fan wise, people absolutely are crazy about that movie.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
More than Beauty and the Beast and
as much
Cinderella?
Tons.
And Jungle Book? The Jungle Book was amazing.
Oh, yeah, it was good. But let me tell you, if you go and check all the Reddits and Tumblrs and everything, I bet you Maleficent beats the crap out of freaking Cinderella for live action. You know? All I remember seeing online about Cinderella is everybody complaining about her freaking corsets. That's all I can remember about that movie. You know, and now people talk about Beauty and the Beast. They all loved it. It made so much money. It's the biggest moneymaker this year. Spider-Man's making some money, though. I'm very happy. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Wonder Woman is doing amazing.
So, overall, I think this is a great thing. I'm excited to see what series develops.
I am, too. I know nothing about Starlight, but I see swashbuckling in space, and I'm excited.
And it's very much, Starlight looks very much like the classic Buck Rogers type of story,
Flash Gordon,
but with Mark Millar's spin on it. I'm sure it'll be incredible. So, so very excited. So Adam, our stream producer here. Do you know anything about Millarworld or anything? Nothing. Does any of this sound exciting? He says Nemesis sounded cool.
There you go.
Awesome. So yeah, I think it'll be successful, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna get some great stuff out of it.
All right. So that'll do it for.
Well, wait. Actually, 30th anniversary of Masters of the Universe, and I did watch it again recently.
Oh, They've been trying to get a new one done for quite a while, like the last 10 years.
Well, let me tell you a couple things that I picked up in rumor. Well, some of it is rumor. The one rumor I heard was this was a New God story, right? That was written up that they adapted into Masters of the Universe. And if you think of all those booming portals and all that stuff, it kind of sounds like Orion versus Darkseid. So, but that's only a rumor. I don't know that for a fact. What I do know for a fact is they interviewed all these people for the 30th anniversary, like the former director and some people who were on production, and it was a horrible time to make that movie. Like, they had pressure from Mattel, they had pressure from Canon. Canon was ready to go out of business. Mattel had lost hundreds of millions of dollars on other He-Man toys, and they're like, we need this movie to succeed. So I found that fascinating. But I can, as many people who don't enjoy this film, I could still watch it. Frank Langella as Skeletor is amazing. This is, if anything, this movie is spectacular for the villains. And I watched it again, and this time I was kind of rooting for Skeletor because him and Evil Lyn, they steal every scene. They steal every scene. They're amazing actors.
Let's bring up the movie poster for this. 1987.
Yep.
1987. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And let's not forget Courtney Cox.
Is she in this?
Yeah, she's the main Earth
You know,
girl.
I don't think I've ever seen this movie.
Oh, you need to.
I may have seen it as a kid, but I don't think I've ever actually seen this movie. I'm going to have to watch it.
You want to know what's really funny about like this movie and the time frame? I had been dying for a new Superman movie. Canon released Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. Right? And of course, back then, I always forced my mom to take me to every movie when I was a kid. So we leave there, and she's just like, Superman was so awful. She's like, this movie had no plot. I don't know what was going on. She goes, that nuclear man, he was very attractive. She's like, but all I remember is her saying that movie is awful, no plot, terrible. I dragged her to see this, which was like maybe a year later or months later, and she goes, well, you know what? At least this movie had a plot. You know, and the only thing, and it's so funny, I'll always remember that, and I'll always remember that Canon released both before it just crumbled to ash.
Wow.
And but yeah, I mean, I still watch it. I don't hate it when I watch it. I don't say, you know, some movies are so bad, you're like, I can't do this. Like 10 minutes in, like I can't. This one I can hang in there. And there are some movies that other people love that I cannot watch. So, but then again, you know, personal taste.
Speaking of that, I actually watched. I watched Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut.
Ooh.
The other night, because I had never seen the Richard Donner cut, and it had been a long time since I had seen Superman 2. And I'll be honest with you, as unfortunately with us, with my wife and I, once we get the kids to bed and then we sit down to watch a movie, we'll get halfway through and then we'll get tired and we got to go to bed.
Yeah.
Which is great. We rented it on Amazon.com and on the Amazon Video on Demand. So we had 48 hours to watch it. Okay. So we sat down, we started watching it. And it was a lot of what I remembered from the second one, from the original version. You know, you see the preamble of Zod's trial being, you know, him and Ursa and Non being banished to the Phantom Zone in the little glass mirror zone, Phantom Zone.
I love that Phantom Zone. To this day, I still love that.
What I didn't remember is it the same transition where at the end of, then they replay the end of Superman,
right? Because
where the missile is what actually causes them.
Right, that's the original story for Superman 2.
In the original cut
of Superman 2.
That doesn't happen.
That does not happen.
Right. Because that's what I thought. As I saw that, I was like, I don't remember this happening. So I was right. Okay. So we saw that. Then there's the whole thing. We watched up until the point where.
Did you see Lois jumping out the window?
So Lois jumping out the window.
And Superman using super breath to slow her down.
That's from the original.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not in the first one?
No, it's not.
You know what's funny is because I saw that and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that. But my wife said I remember this scene, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I don't remember it. So. So then Zod, Non, and Ursa are on the moon, and they're like attacking the astronauts. And then Lois and Clark go to the to Niagara Falls to pose as the couple.
Which, if
for
you
the
notice,
report,
it's like it's so those Niagara Falls scenes are the ones that they shot in post production.
the test footage.
Test footage. It's all from test footage. Yeah. It's awful because the Niagara Falls scenes from the final cut are so beautiful. They actually went to Niagara Falls.
So I'll be honest with you. That's about as far as we got. We went to bed and we never went back and watched it. I actually thought that whole first section, the stuff with Luther and Otis escaping from the prison, which is similar or the same as
but
the
not the
first
same,
was actually pretty boring. And I don't know if it's because it was just slightly different than what I remember.
I'll tell you what makes it extra boring is it plays out longer in this cut.
That must have been what it
because
is.
Because in the traditional cut, it's very quick. It goes from him talking about the plant, Otis, shut up, you're an idiot. Yeah. They're doing laundry. Yeah. Then he sets up the evening thing, and this is way more drawn out.
And I was just like, man, this is dragging on forever. And to be honest with you, it did.
You didn't even make it to the Marlon Brando scene.
It didn't draw me in. It did not draw me in, and I was actually slightly disappointed because this is supposed to be like the original vision of Superman 2. And I just,
I know the original vision, but with no final edits. So it's like...
Yeah, I mean, I understand
I still find it enjoyable. I don't love the ending because they just could not throw any other ending together. It still ends with Superman turning the world back.
Yeah.
Just like at the end of Superman the movie. Just to ruin it for everybody.
I hate that superpower, by the way. That's a dumb superpower.
Okay,
for Superman to have.
Okay, by the way, it was
Flash.
By the way, it was time travel. Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
I just a lot of people
Superman shouldn't be able to time travel.
He's as fast as the Flash. Why not?
He's not as fast as the Flash.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
I mean, the Flash can go a little bit faster, but Superman can hit light speeds.
Well, then he's not as fast as the Flash. Okay, just proved my. Thank you. I accept that you're wrong. He's fast. I accept that you're wrong.
You're great, but he's fast enough to time travel.
Ow!
He's fast. I will hit the good arm next.
Whatever. I think that you should never. Then why doesn't he always use that power?
Because of the consequences. Look at that whole crisis of conscience thing he has before he uses it. But he wants to save Lois so bad.
Well, he could have turned back time, so I didn't waste my $2.99 rental.
Maybe if you had just finished it like a real man.
Okay, on that note, let's move on to what did we play. So we're going to cover the Hawaii ROC State Championships. And you know what? I didn't get to prep this, but we're going to see if we can play a little video. Adam, I don't know if we'll be able to have sound on this or not. Oh, maybe we will. Hang on. Actually, probably not. Oh, what just happened? Oh, I know why. Sorry, this is like live technical stuff. I don't know if I don't know if I can get this video to. This was posted on Facebook too, wasn't it? All right.
Yes.
So let's see if we can play this. Oh yeah, there won't be any sound, but this is. So this is really exciting. They had 17 players, which was sometimes more than what other states had here in the contiguous.
I mean, this year New Jersey only had 9.
That's right. We had 20. I think we had 20. Okay. So let's take a look at the results here. We have this is the winner. And he had, hang on, we're loading up this build sheet here. This is Nicholas Messina, and he ran, let's see, Rat King from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wow, 100 points of Rat King.
Jakeem Thunder, the Prime.
How could you not?
Popular, because, you have to. Mercury at 25, Cheap TK.
Cheap TK for the win.
Then we have the Justice League Teleporter.
Ooh.
with Superman ID card, Flash ID card, Green Arrow ID card,
Nightwing ID card, Shield
Nightwing,
level 7.
Shield level 7, and Spider-Man.
Of course, Spider-Man.
And then we have sideline figures include Elseworlds.
Wow, Superman the freaking beast.
Superman the 230 110 Superman. He couldn't have played the 230. He had to play the 110.
No, he can play the 230 when you get the teleporter to full. That's why he has both of them there. He could play the 110 earlier.
He's got to choose, though. Then he's got the 70-point Superman from Elseworld.
Yep. Options galore.
Yeah, he's the 12 charge, super strength,
stealth, 9 range, Team Superman.
Really? Wow.
He's Dark Knight Superman. He's a brute.
Number 15?
Oh no, 15. The 70-point.
50 point.
Oh,
You're talking about
no.
He's
charging super strength.
Right,
and,
he's the super
and
he's the
can see through hindering. Yes.
Then
I got all excited about Dark Knight Superman. I got crazy.
No, the number 50 is the Dark Knight Superman, right?
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah.
Then we've got the monthly OP Green Arrow, the 5 token one that comes
it's like choose powers.
I just played him on Sunday.
As a call-in or
as the I didn't do a call-in. I actually played the Batcave.
Okay.
We did a 500 point event. We did this colossal thing where every time you roll doubles in the game, you get to use a colossal retaliation power. It was a little crazy, but I called it the Billionaires Club. I had the Caped Crusader Prime from the Batman set with the Batcave and the utility belt, and I had the full Batcave with Alfred. Then I had President Lex Luthor. Then I had this Green Arrow with the 5 tokens, so those were my billionaires. Then I had Chase Robin from Elseworlds with the Batwing and the Batcycle, which she was amazing. She supported. I hopped her out of the Batwing and supported Green Arrow for Heroclix. It was insane. And then because it's the Billionaires Club, I had the 3-point Lawyer Pog from Fear itself, which was the first one to go, as it should be. And I played against Billy, who had...
not even worth 3 points.
I played against Billy, who had an amazing Young Avengers team with Proteus and the Millennium Stone. Very good team, and theme. It was fantastic. It was he had Hulkling, Kate Bishop,
the Iron Lad from What If, or
no Iron Lad. He had 2 figures from What If, and I forget what their names were. But
the girl who has Psychic Blast.
I forget her name. She's Carolina
Dean, yeah.
And then there was another figure that he had, and I forget who her name was. I was wiping the field with him, and then all of a sudden what happened was I put my Cape Crusader in a poor position, and then I got one good attack in with the Cape Crusader, and then he Proteused on to somebody else, and then he just came over and wrecked me and took out my Batman, and then he was able to then take out Oliver Queen, and then Robin was down. And all I had was President Lex Luthor and the Batcave, and the Batcave can't do anything against other people until the other figures are off the map, and then he attacked my Batcave and got my Batcave down to like nothing. It was bad.
I played Sealed on Sunday for the Invisible Jets and did miserably.
Oh yeah.
I played Justice Rider, Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. Right. I had the 55-point Green Lantern. Mm-hmm. That you can roll a die and people get actions.
And it can do it. It can, when it uses if it's the only character with the Green Lantern team ability, carries up people. You roll a d6 on a 5 or a 6.
On a 5, one person can make an action.
On a 6, 2 people can make a non-free action.
Never,
which is crazy.
Never went off for me.
I played that in
wasn't a good way
in Elseworlds Sealed, and I got it off one time.
By the way, do you know what I saw people doing online? Putting Supreme Intelligence on that Green Lantern to give him sidestep to trigger the effect again. That's insane. To get off like 4 attacks a turn.
Wow.
Which apparently it worked.
Can you re-roll that? You can't re-roll that.
You can't re-roll that. But even still, just think about it.
Rocket.
Oh, Rocket can re-roll
Rocket can re-roll it, and Blue Lantern Battery can re-roll it.
Oh, Blue Lantern Batteries for non-modern.
You'd have to give him sidestep some other way, though.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Deadly.
So he also ran. So he ran Nightwing, the monthly OP kit Nightwing, Balls of Fury, which is Nick Fury, super rare number 56 from Nick Fury and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Everybody runs that. Hawkeye Chase, so good. Hawkeye Chase from Avengers Defenders War. I would love that Hawkeye Chase simply because I love that comic run.
By the way, I didn't even know that he existed. I didn't know Moondragon existed until I saw some of the results from this event.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I guess I need more Avengers Defenders in my life.
Yeah, and Cosmic Spider-Man. So he's got a lot of, and then of course his maps, Wakanda Outdoor from Avengers Defenders, WizKid's Office, those are popular maps. So a couple of things here. Possibly because he's in Hawaii and shipping's ridiculous. I didn't see any boxing rings.
Right.
I did see Wonder Woman Invisible Jet as special terrain.
Yeah.
Actually, let's take a look at the top 8 here. So, top 8 builds. We've got... so that was first. And then we'll take a look here. We've got second place was running Balls of Fury, Devil Dinosaur, the 35-point Green Lantern from Joker's Wild.
Yep, so Alan Scott.
That's the one with the barrier, the free barrier, and you can do the light barrier.
Yep.
And he so good. He's got TK. Does he have TK?
No, I don't believe so.
TK. Skyscraper, Wonder Woman, Colossal Retaliator, and Giant Man Retaliator. Then he had Invisible Jet Special Terrain, which we should look up what that does because I'm not entirely sure. Green Lantern ID card, Spider-Man ID card, and then he's got, Green Arrow ID card, and he's running the
Dark Knight
Chase,
Green Arrow.
Yeah, the one-armed Oliver Queen Green Arrow, Cosmic Spider-Man, and then
Peter the Hunter. Yeah. From What If, where Peter becomes Kraven.
So he's this. He can choose either
Cosmic Spider-Man or him.
Peter the Hunter. Yep.
Yep.
Danny in the Streets,
Friendly Neighborhood Map, and Avengers Island.
Interesting. So let's look up what
Special Terrain Invisible Plane does.
Special Terrain does. All right, so let's see. That's What If, right? No, Elseworlds. No, it's not Elseworlds.
What does it count? Oh, WizKids exclusive then.
Why would it be WizKids?
Because it's a OP item.
Oh, I guess so. Sure. Let's see. This is weird.
Invisible Plane.
Invisible Jet.
Nope, plane. It's listed as plane.
Invisible Jet.
Is it?
Oh,
nope, it's listed as plane.
Is it really plane?
Yeah. The Invisible Jet is the Batman one.
But it's the same. It's Wonder Woman's. Right?
Listen.
It is Wonder Woman's.
Who are you preaching to? Choir over here.
All right. 60 points, 95 points. It doesn't have the.
Okay, why is it not showing up all the way? Just take out.
It is okay. It is a. So it's under vehicles. Where's D? I don't see it on here.
That is weird.
That's so weird.
And I know I saw the whole thing the other night. Click on the vehicle keyword and see what comes up.
DC. WizKids DC.
Invisible Plane.
D17 V01. So D 17. This is riveting. This is riveting.
It's awful. This is the worst.
This is like.
This is so bad.
I should have brought this up beforehand.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Invisible plane. Oh, terrain dial.
Ah.
Sure. All right. Force construction. This is special terrain that can be added to your force 5 points, and if you do, don't use the invisible plane dial this game. So you have to choose between the two. Interesting. All right. Special terrain placement rules. We went over those with the boxing ring. Map bonus. When placed on the Wonder Woman barn map. Choose a fellow character modifies defense value by +1 against ranged attacks this game. If this terrain can't be placed, you get the map bonus.
The Wonder Woman barn map is available in the DC Elseworlds starter set. Purchasable now. MSRP of $24.95
at your local game stores.
At your local game stores.
Okay, so scoring, special terrain is scored when defeated, whether it's placed or not. Special terrain traits. Invisible plane counts as hindering terrain for line of fire purposes and blocking terrain for movement and occupancy purposes. Interesting. Characters in adjacent squares modify their defense values by an additional +1 when targeted by ranged attacks if the line of fire drawn to them crosses a square of the invisible plane. So if I'm reading this correctly, if you are adjacent to the invisible jet and you have placed this terrain marker on the Wonder Woman barn map and you choose, let's say, a Wonder Woman figure to get the +1 bonus from the map bonus. Mm-hmm. So she has a +1 defense. She's adjacent to the invisible plane, and if the line of fire crosses that, it's another +1 bonus, so that's +2. And because it's hindering terrain, if you don't ignore hindering, you get a +3 bonus. So just want to be clear that that's the correct way I'm interpreting this.
And Alan Scott is just hiding behind there with his energy shield.
And doesn't he give defend?
JSA.
Oh, so he could, sure. So wow, that's something. All right. When a non-adjacent character misses on a line of fire that... When a non-adjacent character... I'm assuming that's a typo. Misses an attack on a line of fire that crosses invisible plane after actions resolve, turn the terrain dial 1 click. This special terrain is destroyed when the terrain dial shows KO. When it is destroyed, place standard heavy objects in each distinct square the special terrain occupied. Now this is a 2x4, so that's eight
squares of heavy objects.
8 heavy objects. Now, after this goes down 2 clicks, it has a special that says, when this click is revealed, roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled. If the result is greater than the displayed number, destroy the special terrain and heal each adjacent character 2 clicks. Now, it's one thing to note also that these special when adjacent elements, they do not specify friendly or otherwise. It is any character. Any character. So,
well, we've seen that now in the preview with the Thor set, too, with Thunderstrike's hammer, where it's like anyone can pick his hammer up, like, exclusively.
Ooh. And we'll be going over the Thor set spoilers probably next week, maybe, because that set hopefully
right in time for Thor set to come right out and beat us over the head with Heroclix Undead.
At the same time,
they're like neck and neck.
Wow. And that means new rules.
That means
with Thor. So we'll cover all the rules. We'll maybe do some learning videos with the new rules. I think would be a good idea.
With zombies and Asgardians everywhere.
Ooh.
Or vampires.
I saw a Marley figure.
Yes.
From Scrooge.
Jacob
Marley.
Yeah, and he has
cool.
Yeah, he has a -2 to attack if he crosses your path. If he moves through you. Yeah, and he has an 11 attack incapacitate.
I hope they're modern. I hope they're modern age.
I think now I'm hearing. Now I asked right on the WizKids thing yesterday on their announcement, and 2 people answered that it's modern.
I think their attitude is everything that they're going to produce now is going to be modern.
Right, because it's awkward. Not that I'm not pleased that Yu-Gi-Oh was kept out of modern, because that was just too many.
Yu-Gi-Oh is so much fun.
That was just too many crazy effects for me.
So this was the second place player. And then we also see third place Dr. Octopus, Eclipso, possessed by Eclipso, Samantha Wilson, Captain America. There's your Brainiac, possessed by Brainiac.
Yep.
Renee Tilley from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Riptide.
Ooh, that pulse waving Riptide is dangerous.
Yep. Fourth place, Renee Tilley again. Spider-Punk.
Yep, Spider-Punk. He's one of the chases from the Spirit Foes.
Elseworlds. Goblin King at 75 points. I knew he was going to be good. Batman, Superman, Robot. Colossal Retaliator.
Ooh.
Goblin King possessed by Eclipso. Interesting.
Yep. Well, that makes some good sense. Give you the extra ability and stats.
This is fifth place. Nick Fury, Goblin King at 75. Doctor Strange,
50 points.
Focus. Doctor
Shifting
Strange.
focus, yeah. General Lane.
Good piece.
To dish out Team
really like
Superman enemy.
I really like General Lane. 40 points, solid piece. Superman ID, Green Arrow ID, Spider-Man ID, Dr. Stark.
Yes, Dr. Stark.
What If.
From What If.
Oh, he's the...
Yep.
Gotcha. Warehouse map. He must have been... What is he running the ID cards with? He's got to have that... Oh, he doesn't have them listed. Oh.
No, he's just the ID cards.
World's Finest Superman.
Yeah.
No, but he's got to list the figures.
Oh, right, and they're listed on the side.
World's Finest Superman.
Elseworlds Green Arrow.
Elseworlds Green Arrow. And What If Cosmic Spider-Man. Yeah, makes sense. Then we have...
oh my God.
Place, Goblin King at 275.
With Eclipso attached.
Possessed by Eclipso. 300 points. Done.
Savage.
Done. Sixth place out of 17.
3 powers a turn.
That is something.
That is something.
One-man armies I'm not a big fan of, but look at that. Simplicity and a top 8 run for that. 17 people, not
listen, I got a hand to him.
But still, he beat out a Jakeem Thunder, Green Lantern, Leonardo, TMNT. A lot of TMNT figures in this.
I don't remember. Leonardo's one of the Savage ones. That's Space Leonardo, if I remember correctly.
28. No, from the original, that's not Space Leonardo. So that's from the first set.
Oh, one.
So, no, this I think is the chase. I think this is the. Chase. Yeah, this is the. Oh wait, no. 20. Yeah, this is. Oh no, this is super rare from. the Nickelodeon animated. So he has. Let's bring him up on the screen here. So he has. He's got. Let's see, 60 points. Is this the right one?
28.
Leonardo.
Yep.
No, this is 75 points.
And this guy's 60.
This is the wrong one. So
right.
You're right. You're right. It's Space Leonardo.
Yeah, Space Leonardo.
It happens.
Yeah. Dude is wild.
So Space Leonardo, he's 75 points, 7 range, 1 bolt. 2 traits. He's got 2 traits. So he starts off with a 10 running shot, 11 pen size, 17 toughness, 3 leadership. You push him to that. He's got no Indomitable, so you push him to that second click. He's going to get a 12 pen size, and then he goes down. I love this dial because you go from ranged to close combat. I love that. I love that transition. So 0G ninjutsu. Leonardo can use the flight ability and ignores knockback damage when given a non-free action. If Leonardo is adjacent to blocking terrain or a square of higher elevation, Leonardo modifies his speed and attack values by +1 for that action. Very good. Savage. Running shot and charge, very good.
Yep.
Racing for the pieces of the black hole generator. When an opposing character would be equipped or begins the game equipped, you and that character's controller each roll 2d6 that can't be re-rolled. If your result is higher, remove that equipment from the game.
Savage.
What?
He's amazing.
I have never seen this piece. This is
look.
This is incredible.
Okay, 2 of the space turtles are insane. He's one of them, and the other two are very good. Look up all the space turtles. They're crazy.
Wow.
They're crazy.
Wow.
And they all have cosmic keyword. So they can all become BFFs.
Animal, cosmic, martial arts, TMNT ally.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
Do you know who else has cosmic for theme teams? Yeah. Necron the Bat God. Ooh. He can just give these people stealth and ruin lives all day.
So this guy's also running the Kree Supreme Intelligence. It doesn't say who he's assigned to. Pin Pocket Tank, 11 Seville ID card for Nick Fury. Foggy Nelson?
Yeah, Foggy Nelson.
Okay.
Batman
ID
a
card,
rare.
Green Arrow ID card.
How does it not say who Supreme Intelligence is attached to?
I'm not sure.
I'm assuming
he
it
also
would be
doesn't have
Hakeem.
his sideline figures listed either. Wow. All right, and then in 8th place, we've got another Doc Ock, Eclipso, Domino from Deadpool and the X-Force.
Fast Forces.
Iron Punisher? Oh, Deadpool, X-Force, Fast.
Yep.
No. That's Deadpool, X-Force, X-Force. That's 006R.
Yeah, she's from the Fast Forces.
Okay.
There is no Domino in the actual sets.
Oh, okay.
Just like there's no Cyborg in the Elseworld sets, but he appears in the starter.
He's in the starter.
Second blast energy explosion.
Brainiac on Iron Punisher.
Yeah.
Eclipso on Doc Ock. That 35-point Doctor Strange again. Let's take a look at him.
50 points.
50 points, number 35, Doctor Strange.
Overdrive at 35 points from Superior Foes. The little transporter dude.
Oh, yeah. So let's see. Doctor Strange. Oh, is it supposed to be 51?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, 50 points, number 35.
Yeah.
Here we go. Shifting focus.
Ignores characters for improved targeting with 6 range.
Does he have his list? He doesn't have his sideline figures listed. So, but I'm assuming he's going to bring some other stuff. So
he gets some power and enhancement, and a unique modifier when he uses either. Yep. Also modify the attacker's attack value by +1.
Wow.
+1 attack, +1 damage.
So good.
And he's got mystical keyword
with Doc Ock. That's pretty good.
With Hakeem because awesome.
Well, he doesn't have Hakeem. He doesn't have Hakeem.
Oh, no, I mean I'm just thinking mystical keyword. You can make a theme team.
Yeah. So yeah, what do we think about the results here from this?
I think they're very good, and I like that they're creative because nothing's worse than seeing the same old garbage all the time. You know, there's nothing like looking at results and you just see boxing ring, boxing ring, boxing ring, boxing ring, boxing ring.
Yeah. So here's some. Let's take a look at some shots from this event. There's the special terrain, the invisible plane, special terrain.
But Alan Scott hiding behind it. What did I tell you?
Yep.
What did I tell you?
Yep. There's the robot.
Batman Superman robot for retaliation. Look at the Green Lantern he used.
Hal Jordan.
No, that's the girl. That's the one from the Tangent Universe.
Right.
Yeah, the one who brings people back from the dead. That's an interesting choice.
Very cool. This is Renee Tilley, Green Goblin King, and
Rat King, right?
No, that's Is that I'm not sure who that is.
I'm not sure what that is either, and I feel like we read it.
We did. Well, we definitely read it. Definitely read it. Other side, you got Haha Joker.
Yep, but is that the gas? Or no?
Yeah, that's the gas. That's the Joker gas.
With Goblin
it looks
King.
like, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like he got Supreme Intelligence out on the map.
No, where do you see Supreme Intelligence?
So see the figure with the. I'm assuming that's Supreme Intelligence.
But Eclipso.
Oh, maybe he's just. Oh, okay, never mind.
Unless the Eclipso and the Supreme Intelligence are both there because they symbolize that they're both on
somebody.
On somebody.
That's probably what it is.
Okay.
So let me find this team again. So this was is... Oh, here we go. So, Renee Tilly, Spider-Punk. That's who that is.
Oh, the guitar. I couldn't make it out.
Yeah, Green Lantern, Goblin King, Eclipso. So Eclipso's on Goblin King, and no Supreme Intelligence on this.
All right, so it's just a big funny dial.
So, oh, you know what? That's the other person's team. That's the other person's team. So this is the one with Mercury. So it's not that one. It's not that one. Okay, that's the winner's team on the other side.
Ooh.
So he had. So what is that? Is that the Justice League dial? I don't know what that is.
Oh, that could be the teleporter.
So
and the teleporter snapped off.
He has Rat King, Jakeem Thunder, Mercury, Justice League teleporter. He has no
Joker.
He has Jokerless. Maybe that's a different team.
That's a different team.
That must be a team that didn't make the top 8.
Yeah.
So.
All right. We just don't know what we're looking at. Oh, look at this.
Yeah,
and someone busted out Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. No, that's not Jimmy Olsen. That's
oh, that's yeah.
It's
Foggy. It's Foggy
it's
Nelson.
Foggy Nelson. So this is the winning team right here. So there's this. I mean, not the winning team, but that's the turtle. There's Leonardo.
Yep.
So, somebody brought a Dormammu.
Of course.
It's interesting that other people seem to have elements that we saw at ours, but those teams did not make the top 8. That's interesting. That's very cool. It's very cool.
Well, I know one. I know. I don't know what the final word is on Dormammu's ability, because I know it was a huge thing.
It was. I ruled it. I ruled it because it does not say either way. It doesn't say within, and the way the sentence is structured, it is not clear if it's 2 squares of Dormammu or 2 squares of the target. And
both are dangerous, by the way.
Yes. I ruled it to be consistent with other Colossals that it's 2 squares of the target. And people were arguing with me, but that's not what it says. I'm like, well, it doesn't say 2 squares within 2 squares, and the 2 squares is after the target in the sentence, so it's unclear.
I was gonna say, did WizKids finally clear up the intent?
As of last week, I had not heard an official rule.
Okay, because I'm sure we will soon.
Yeah. So overall, congratulations to them. By the way, this was held at. Let me get the name of the store right. This was held at. This was held at the Armchair Adventurer in Hawaii, and I'm not entirely sure where they are located, but it's at the Armchair Adventurer in Hawaii. And I want to thank whoever I spoke with there, and I want to thank they gave me his name. I want to thank the what's it about? So they're in Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm not going to pronounce the street name, but they're the Armchair Adventurer in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I want to thank Robert for sending me the information, and I want to thank Matt, who is the community leader there and who was able to give Robert this information for me. I also want to note that they had one big moment in the night when in the quarterfinals of single elimination it was Todd versus Tom. After Tom's third turn, Todd only had a damaged Doc Ock and the Captain America Samantha Wilson on the map.
Ooh.
Those were the only figures he had on the map after the third turn. Tom still had so the opponent still had a full dial Nick Fury, Balls of Fury.
Ooh.
And Shifting Focus Doctor Strange, as well as the Green Arrow Colin and Cosmic Spider Colin. He had not used them yet. And somehow, Samantha Wilson and Doc Ock pulled out the win by just out-positioning the other player. So congratulations to Todd on that big win.
And the championship round was Nick.
Championship round was Nick and Cyril. And apparently this was a little bit of an anticlimactic finish. On the first attack, Nick ruled a crit hit with his Cosmic Spider call-in, destroyed Cyril's Balls of Fury in one hit.
Wow!
Just took
and
him
it
out.
all went
and
downhill.
So yeah, and the game was over 3 turns later. So it shows how important, and I think WizKids is getting away from this off the map elements being a factor in games. I think that they're really going more towards a point of let's keep the game on the map, let's keep the figures on the map.
I want to believe you, but we have an X-Men set coming with a whole bunch of ID cards.
Oh, really?
And listen, and I really listen to me,
that.
and I really want to believe you. But after Joker's Wild, with all these lower point figures and sensible figures, they gave us Deadpool X-Force with the power creep and all these other point figures. So I really want to believe it, right? I really want to believe it because in their articles they keep saying we want it accessible for new players, and then they show us Chase Thunderstrike.
Right, but
I want to believe.
But in all,
it's like the X-Files up in here.
But in all honesty, I think that the way that they've gone in taking the like really complicated figures and getting them away from taking the complicated figures, making them the harder figures to get. So the more common, the uncommon, the rares, they tend to have their special powers and abilities are not quite as complex as some other stuff. You know, I'm hoping they continue with that trend, and I think that the new rules are gonna.
I'm not sure that's a good trend though. Because
really?
look what it results in. It results in things like Hakeem, where he's very expensive and people really want to get their hands on it, and it's hard for them. I'm just saying, for me, new player accessibility means a wider range of things that give a wider range of tactics. And unfortunately, even with this, the level of people using Hakeem and Nick Fury Balls of Fury is still very high, still pointed to what people should use. I am thrilled that I saw people out there using Doc Ock, who I would never have thought of, and all the other stuff. I think that's amazing. But the thing is, at the end of the day, look what's winning.
But the thing is you're always going to have pieces, because not all pieces are the same. You can't make all the pieces the same power level. So you're going to have these individual pieces that are going to be hard to find, and they're going to be super powerful. You're always going to have that. You can never get away from that.
I know, but diversity in the name of accessibility.
So you're saying that make some of the more powerful pieces the more common.
Okay,
I think they've done that though, because there's some really good pieces.
They have, and we've missed that wave because it's not winning anybody anything. I'll tell you, the best phase for me was during the War of Light, because there was a Kyle that everyone could use, and a
weaponer of cord.
And if you couldn't do anything else, you could at least build that Kyle Rayner team, and you still had a shot. And ever since all that whole wave went out, which is great because the lanterns and all that, it's a lot of stuff. But we say goodbye to it. As soon as we moved out of that phase, the idea of having a Kyle, or an alternate tactic, a tactic for people who can't get the big expensive pieces, seem to kind of, fade away. And then everybody's just like, well, I got to work with what I've got, which is great because we do see some nice alternate teams. But at the end of the day, first place and second place tend to fall to the people who have Hakeem or have Supreme Intelligence, who have Goblin King. I'm not, this isn't like, oh no, I want to bash the whole game. I'm just saying we need a little bit more return to that era of, oh look, I don't have all access to the stuff that these guys do, so I built this Kyle Rayner team and it's solid, and and look, I might even get to the top 4. So I was always pro the Kyle team because everybody had a chance.
I don't disagree. I think that I don't know. I think that I think they're moving in a positive direction. I'm excited to see the new rules. I'm going to start looking over them.
Oh, I agree with that.
With new rules coming out.
I just think they need more thought all around.
Yeah, I think that's always going to be the case. I think it's a resources thing with them, and
now
it's hard for them to get all the resources to make the game exactly the way that it should be.
There's some truth to that. There's some things they could do a little bit better on their own. And again, I know they're a small company for me to be talking like this, but there's still some things they could do. I'm very happy they took 10 months to wait on this whole new rules thing. I'm hoping that it's worth it. I hope we open these store sets and pieces and that it's like, oh, look, the changes are really great. And I think a lot of changes are very good. I have to readjust my brain for a lot of them, but I think a lot of changes are very good. And I like what I see. I'm always intrigued by what we get next. I just want to feel like things are more viable. I love Last Son of Krypton, Green Lantern Clark Kent. Right? I think he's just a good-looking piece. It's a great story that I loved reading as an Elseworld. And do I feel like he's viable to play? You know, for like any event? Am I thinking, oh wow, it's gonna be so cool to use him for X? Unless it's a theme game night, no. You know, it's just he's this cool-looking piece that I'm kind of excited by. That I'm not gonna be able to do anything with unless we do Elseworlds theme night and things like that.
Okay. All right, so let's wrap it up. Let's go to Thought Bubbles. I want to thank Kerwin's Game Store for hosting us in Catskill, New York. They've got a great website. Go to kerwinsgamestore.com. If you're looking for Magic singles, Pokemon singles, Yu-Gi-Oh singles, Weiss Schwartz singles, rumor has it they may have the Star Wars Weiss Schwartz cards that are only available in Japan, but I think we brought them over, so check that out. Also, we've got some big events coming up. On the 26th, ROC Super Qualifier right here in Catskill, New York. $30 entry, but if you pre-register on our website, only $25. And gas card door prizes.
Ooh.
Randomly given out throughout the day.
Wait, who's the provider
Of the gas cards?
Yeah.
Well, we're buying them.
Is it going to be Stewards?
I believe it's Stewards.
Okay, good.
Because there's one right on that.
We all have a Stewards, so that's okay.
Stewards.
We're in New York. We all got Stewards.
Yeah. So get signed up for that. The World Cup is fast approaching.
Yeah.
So you want to get your buys in if you can, get your points, and get on that. We also have a Yu-Gi-Oh! WCQ qualifier regional on September 2nd. So if you guys are into Yu-Gi-Oh, come and stop by. We usually have great turnout for that. We usually have between 150 250 players in the store, so that gets to be a real treat. And then we also are going to be out and about a little bit. September 10th is the Mid-Hudson Civic Center Ultimate Comic Expo. That we're definitely, Kerwin's is going to have a booth there, and hopefully we're going to be doing a live stream of Read, Watch, Play there.
You are forgetting one thing.
For that.
Jack Kirby's 100th
Jack Kirby,
birthday.
Right.
Yes.
That is this Friday?
No, the last Friday of the month?
Last Friday of the month.
So, yeah, we'll be doing that.
Last Friday of the month. We'll try to do something special for that as well.
I know it's not for Kerwin's, but thank you to Alternaverse for
arranging
my comics. And also they're doing some Pokemon thing there.
Oh, and the 20th is, I believe, a League Cup or League Challenge.
Cup. Yep.
Expanded.
It's a really big deal. He mentioned it last night and was like, "Oh, but it's so big." And I'm like,
I actually, if I can work out my schedule, I may actually try to go to that because I believe it's expanded and I play expanded Pokemon. Okay. So
yeah, Josh is. I don't know if you met Josh. He's running.
I haven't been down there before, so I've been down there
but not for
Heroclix, but not for Pokemon.
So this kid Josh is running it now. He's very nice, and he does very well with the kids.
Cool.
So it should be a good event. But most importantly, that he managed my comics and I didn't have to strangle him.
Very
so
cool.
That was nice.
Very cool. We're also going to be doing here on Main Street in Catskill is a music art Brewfest and Flea Market. They're going to close down a section of Main Street. You're going to be able to walk around. We're going to have a booth outside of our store. We're going to invite people in. We'll be playing some games and stuff.
I'm sorry, did you say Brewfest?
Yes, Brewfest.
Okay,
you should stop by.
Forget all that other stuff. What about the brew?
September 16th. I'm not entirely sure, but there's going to be...
I'm like, you can't tell me we're shutting down the street. We're going to call it a Brewfest.
You're going to be able to
tell me about the brew.
You're going to be able to go and get drinks and wander around and go to the different Main Street
Stumbling
shops
across Main Street in the Catskills while drinking. How do you not love that?
And stop by and play games.
Stop by and play games. Try not to be too tipsy.
And then on...
Games are expensive.
Yes. On November 4th, I believe, Kerwin's is hosting a SCG regional Magic Modern format. And we're not entirely sure where it's going to be. It'll probably be either here in the store in Catskill or possibly in Syracuse, depending on how big we think it's going to be. So we'll be live streaming that as well. That'll be here on the Twitch channel, so check that out. We're hoping to stream the Yu-Gi-Oh! Regional as well, and possibly even the ROC Super Qualifier. Is there a possibility you might be commentating for that, Cliff? Not to put you on the spot.
If I get kicked out of the first round... Your team is garbage. Oh my god! I'm gonna go and rudely critique all your guys' activities. I want to find the Jack Kirby.
So find the Jack Kirby thing. So join us again next week. We'll probably be doing it again at 12:30 on Wednesday next week.
Yeah,
possibly. So we're gonna try this time slot for a little bit, just because it's easier for our schedules. Well, my schedule anyway. I don't know about Cliff's.
Yeah, it's a nightmare for me. Thank you. I barely made it through any comics.
One of the reasons we're doing it at 12:30 today is because tonight we have our
Invisible
Plane. Invisible Plane, excuse me. Constructed tournament, 200 points. I think it's 400 points. 200 points have to be from Elseworlds.
Yeah, I brought everything I own because I didn't have time to put a team together.
So you're staying for that tonight?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and
next we're gonna order lunch because I demand it.
Panini just came out with a.
Justice League.
Did you just say you're buying me lunch? Awesome, thank you, Cliff.
If that's what it takes for me to eat.
Panini just came out with a game called Medics, it's a game system called Meta X. And it's supposed to be cross-universe, so they're going to come out with different sets and other things. They started with the Justice League one, a lot of New 52 art, it looks like, which is fine. But Cliff and I are going to try the game out. Cliff got some of the product and a starter deck. We're going to throw some decks together possibly this afternoon.
Well, we're going to use the starter stuff for this afternoon.
All right, we'll use the starter stuff this afternoon. We're going to try that. We're going to try that game out and report back next week on that as well. So very excited.
We should record something for next week.
Oh yeah, maybe we should.
Like me struggling how to get meta points. I don't know. Okay, Jack Kirby tribute art show in Troy, New York. It's on 4th Street at the Argyle Studios Gallery. It is Friday, August 25th from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's good company. And of course, all proceeds from the art, print, and merchandise sales will go to the Hero Initiative, a charity that helps comics creators in need through Kirby for Heroes. And of course, I don't know if a lot of you realize this, a lot of people who've worked for Marvel and DC in the past as writers, artists, illustrators, letterers, etc. Yeah, there is no retirement plan. Okay, a lot of them have faced a lot of issues, and Hero Initiative is there to help them, especially when it comes to medical billing and issues of that sort. A lot of them do not have proper insurance, which is something many of us struggle with. So please come out and support them. It's going to be great. Tony and I will be there. I will drag him. It'll be great. Maybe we'll have to tie up his children. It'll be a good time.
More than likely.
I'll bring denim ropes.
And on that note, thank you for watching Read, Watch, Play. It's been a pleasure having you guys. Join us again next week, 12:30 p.m. live right here on Kerwin's Game Store Twitch channel and live on Kerwin's Game Store Facebook page. I'm your host, Tony Cox. As always,
Clifford Parmiter.
Oh, you didn't let me say it.
I won't. Hey, don't forget to tweet us. Talk about things. Make us feel like you care.
And
I'm at Clifford Parmiter at Clifford NY for New York.
And I'm at Tony on a Mountain. And we'll see you guys next week.
Take care.